Kia ora and welcome to another episode of Rural New Zealand, proudly brought to you by Carfields. I'm your host Scotty Manford, and join me as we check out what's happening throughout Canterbury. Alrighty, on this week's episode, we bring you the results of the South Island Farm of the Year, Living Earth show us the best compost on the market, we talk to the team behind the Westpac Rescue Helicopter, but first it's full swing into the silage season, so we caught up with the Claas Harvest Centre and contractors throughout Canterbury.
I'm Aaron Jones, I'm the sales manager for Claas Harvest Centre Canterbury. It's part of Carfields, and we look after the branches in Timaru, Ashburton, Christchurch. We've got a new branch starting in Waipara and Hokitika. Greg Carr, our founder, started the business in 1991, just with one small branch here in Ashburton, growing now obviously to 5 branches, and we have a staff of 65 to 75 staff, depending on seasonal requirements. So it's grown a lot over the last 25 years, but kept the culture that it was started with, and that's service second to none. Our main brands are Claas, JCB. We also sell Amazon spraying, cultivation gear, spreading gear, Gregoire Benson ploughs and cultivation equipment. We also sell Tanko wrappers, Anderson wrappers and MacDon windrowers and fronts. And also we have a range of lawn care products through Husqvarna and Walker as well. So.
All bases would be covered on pretty much?
Yeah, I think so. We can get most things covered for most farmers. Yeah, definitely.
We caught up with Todd Holmes while part of his team was harvesting in Rakaia.
Our company's called Jackson Holmes Contracting. We do a lot of fine chop silage, baling, cultivation and just general agricultural contracting. We've been in business for about 25 years now. So, yeah.
And what sort of areas do you cover?
Everywhere in mid-Canterbury between the Rakaia and the Ashburton River, and north of the Rakaia River a little bit, sort of up to Darfield and down to Leaston and that. We've got a long history with Claas, just back when we first started with the original balers and stuff like that, and we've just had a great run with them over the years. They've treated us very well with parts and service, and they've just got a good similar company ethos to us, and they just work well for our type business, which is very much service based and weather dependent, and stuff like 7 days service is fantastic for us because we're sort of on call 24/7 and they are too, so it's works really well.
Murden's Ag is a contracting team servicing the Waimakariri area.
We're an ag contracting business that's based out of Oxford, and we service the district there, basically between the Waimak and Ashley rivers and down to Rangiora, with a range of services that from silage to baling hay and straw, cultivation and seed drilling, a bit of cartage and other farm services in between.
Stephen and Merton's Ag have a long relationship with the Claas Harvest Centre.
It started out land power with the retailers in Canterbury for the Claas brand, and then Harvest Centre took that over a few years ago, and our relationship carried over from land power. We were with their previous tractor brand before that, and carried on with the Claas machines. But they have a number of products that suit the services that we do, and the scope of machines that they have suits the scope of the operation that we run. We've got a good rapport with the service team and the sales team, and their ability to service our needs is a lead reason as to why we're with them, yeah.
Having parts and service just a phone call away must be good peace of mind.
It's an important part to keep these things going. As you can see, we're challenged by the weather majorly this season. and the last thing you want is to get an hour into the job and break something that they haven't got in stock. And I mean, there's always bits and pieces that may not be there, but they do their best to get us sorted,
Any company can sell something, but backing it up, so a whole lot harder than selling the second machine to a customer, and it's really important. And one of the Carfield's values is service second to none, and for us it's really really important. And to the founder, he's always known what it's like to be a customer as well as the person on the other side. So we open 7 days a week during the harvest month, so October through to the end of March. We operate 7 days a week. Saturday, Sunday is a normal day like it is for our customers. So incredibly important to us and to our staff that we deliver to our customers' needs. And weather when you're contracting and farming doesn't always go to plan, so often the weekends are busy, and it's important that our customers can get parts when they need them, get our staff, and not be charged call-out fees just because the weather's gone bad or things haven't gone quite to plan, because that's farming.
I'm starting to get grass fever again. It's great to see great synergy between suppliers and contractors. Alrighty, stay tuned on Rural New Zealand, because after the break we bring you the results of the South Island Farmer of the Year. Welcome back to Rural New Zealand. With outstanding finalists in this year's South Island Farmer of the Year competition, it's certainly going to be hard to find a winner. A large crowd had assembled for the 2016 South Island Farmer of the Year competition, with 4 fantastic finalists.
So we're going to start this evening with the category winners. And so to do that, can I ask Ben Todd-Hunter to come back up on stage to present the Lincoln University Foundation for Best Human Resource Management. And this year, it is awarded to Simon and Misha Lee of Mendip Hills. Simon and Misha, you've received this award because of your absolute commitment to ongoing staff development, both for Mendip Hills and the wider community and industry around you. People are their passion, and that was something that Simon really spoke from the heart about. So congratulations.
So Simon, you come away with the Human Resources Award. You must be pretty stoked with that.
Yeah, I was rapt, because it was probably the one that I really wanted, strive for, so it was good, real good.
The Lincoln University Award for Innovation and New Technology. And this year, this goes to James Dicey of Ceres Wine. James, I think it's been pretty evident in your presentation, but your award has been given because of your absolute innovative approach to integrating 3 companies for scale of management and financial success, your between vine plantings, your automated machine planting of vines, and the list could just go on. But also your overall continuous search for innovative ways to improve the quality and efficiency of your beautiful wine. Well done. The Farmlands Award for Best Resource Management, which this year is awarded to James Dicey of Ceres Wine. So James, your outstanding knowledge of climate and soils, vines and management of water and irrigation to ensure consistent quality of production. Well done.
You've come away with 3 awards. You must be pretty stoked with that.
Pretty stoked, yeah. It's been an interesting night coming to the territory of sheep and beef, and did pretty well on a couple of things, so I'm pretty stoked about that.
Yeah, how did you sort of feel? It is sheep and beef stuff, and coming out with the wine and that. But
You've got to come to the Lion's Den and challenge yourself every so often, and I feel I did a reasonable job of representing the grape industry. It's obviously going to be tough, but from my perspective, you've just got to put your best foot forward, judge yourself against your peers, and see how you go.
The Silver Fern Farms Plate to Pasture Award, which this year is awarded to Neil and Lynn Campbell of Parkwood Farms. Neil and Lynn's close relationship with their customer and attention and commitment to producing highly nutritious food consistently and to specification. Well done. There is, however, this year just one overall winner of the Lincoln the South Island Farmer of the Year competition. And the winner this year is Neil and Lynn Campbell of Parkwood Farms.
So you guys must be pretty happy with the victory today.
Ecstatic.
Yeah, elated, yeah, total surprise.
Where do you see the future now that you've won this award?
I can't see things altering too much. We do what we do because we enjoy it, and if we can encourage people into agriculture and encourage excellence in agriculture, and there's a viable returns there, I think that would be pretty satisfying. Yeah. You get really frustrated when you hear constant knockers of a certain sector or industries, and you've really got to look at your own business and just see where the opportunities are and what you can capitalise on, and that's basically what we've done.
Well done, Neil and Lynn. All that hard work has paid off. Alrighty, stay tuned on Rural New Zealand, because after the break we talk compost with Living Earth and we catch up with the guys from the Air Rescue Helicopter. See you then. Welcome back to Rural New Zealand. Now, with tough times in agriculture, using compost on your farm is an avenue you should explore. Graham, you're the man of the land out here, you know what's happening. Do you want to tell us what Living Earth basically is?
Living Earth is a compost facility in-house. We've been here 7 years. It's a Christchurch City Council owned facility which we run, and we make organic compost.
We'll see, you know, we put our wheelie bins out on the side of the road, and then what happens after that?
Basically they're picked up, brought here, dumped off, and we mix up to a recipe that we know will work. It's loaded into one of 18 tunnels that we've got here, and then the process starts on breakdown into compost.
How long does it take to get from, you know, at the house into a product like this one right here?
It takes around about 2.5 to 3 months, and then we've got this organically certified compost that goes out into the rural market and also Christchurch residents. It's full of nutrients, and there's some good trace elements in there as well. It's got good NPKs, and the makeup is to get the C/N ratio right. We sit pretty good with that at about 12.5 to 13. It's a slow release fertiliser, which you'll see results in the first year, but the second year you'll see better, and it's all about getting those microbes working with the worms.
Yeah, I'm Stu McElrick, and we're here in Brookside, close to Dunsandel, on our small beef farm really. The focus of our production here is on beef. We run exotic cows, primarily Geltfie, and cross those with our main choice is Hereford. So we breed calves and we finish all our progeny. I just wanted something that was, you know, a little bit more environmentally friendly. You know, the story of the compost is a great one, and being able to have a sustainable product that's always going to be here, that brings all that organic matter and the nutrients with it in a safe form to complement our other fertilisers is just awesome really. Now the compost has done wonders for this farm here. It takes a wee while to get it in the system. You don't get a flush of results you can see in the first 12 months, but once you're in the system, you know, the results speak for themselves. When it comes here, it's a real good product. You know, we stick it on the paddocks, and it's got a lot of nutrients in it which are in an organic form, so they don't leach. They're there and they become plant available by biological activity, microbes and things that go on under the soil. And once that happens over a period of time, you get this sustainable growth that holds moisture. The rain we've just had has been really awesome, and to have that, and this stuff here will soak it up and be available for a longer period of time. We've seen the results of this in years past, where we've had a dry summer and we've gone into cultivation and thinking paddocks are going to be particularly dry, and we've been surprised how much moisture they've held, and it's purely down to the moisture holding ability of this compost. The owner of this paddock was going to plough it this spring because he felt the lucerne had run out, so I suggested to him that we apply a decent rate of compost and see what it does. Well, each time we've looked at it during the winter, the thing that first struck him was the huge amount of worm casts that were clearly obvious on the surface of the soil. You walk around there and your boots were growing with worm casts. So we started digging, and this is reasonably heavy clay soil here. And the owner, who's an older fella that's been farming for a long, long time, he just couldn't believe how this compost had really brought the worms alive. You can see down here now that, even though it's a bit stalky here, we can still see a big abundance of worm castings, and you can see some remains of this compost here, still on the top, where the worms have been coming up feeding on it. The underground army, they're just working away there, dragging the nutrients down and adding life to the soil and the activity that goes on beneath the surface. It's amazing.
The other benefits with compost, 1% of organic matter added to the compost will double the water holding capacity. So you've got to be looking at things like saving irrigation costs, making the soil more easily worked, and probably saving fuel costs. So it's got a lot of hidden talents, but unless you use it, you'll never find out.
If people want to buy this product, how do they sort of get it?
Just ring Living Earth. We're very proud of what we've got here, and we've seen the results in a lot of rural places. Farmers have been with us since we've opened, and they've come back every year.
After all, soil is the most important aspect to your farm. Now, Air Rescue is a great organisation that helps people out in the rural communities in times of need.
My name's Rick Knight. I'm the crew chief here in Christchurch on the Westpac Rescue Helicopter. The crew chief plus also winch operator and crewman. It's incredibly important. Most of the areas that we go to are so isolated around the Canterbury area, even greater field around South Island, New Zealand itself, and the resources that we can provide, not only the speed that we can get to people and appropriate care and intensive care paramedics to areas, it's vital at the end of the day to get people as fast, appropriate care and get in the hospital as fast as we can, depending on their injuries and everything else.
Why is it so important to get medics on the scene quickly?
In the rural area, most of the areas are covered by volunteer ambulance officers. So depending on their qualification is depending on what they can actually do for treating and looking after people. So with our side of it, we can actually provide intensive care paramedics to the scene on the helicopter. So we can just do more advanced care, more appropriate pain relief drugs. A lot of our staff on board now, we can actually do what they call sedate to intubate people, so we can look after airways and everything else like that now, which is, these days all of our qualifications are getting higher and higher.
Farmers and rural people can make it a lot easier for locating the farm and landing the helicopter.
We run what we call a rural database in Garden City. So what that means is that a lot of rural areas and farmers that can basically pay into the system, and we can put their farm information onto our database. So if we get pinged to a farm name or an address in the rural areas, we can actually put it into our software, and straight away we can pinpoint with their farmers with our latitude and longitude. So that's a big saving grace for a lot of farmers and that sort of stuff. And, we can either go by their surname or the farm itself, and we can find their location within a couple of minutes, basically. As an awareness side of things, and for them to look after themselves, some of the farm areas are so isolated and big stations out there. It's probably advisable if farmers carry their own personal locator beacons. Because a lot of times they're out there by themselves, and if something happens with the quad bike accidents, at least they got some sort of activation to us if they're away from cell phone coverage. And that's a vital thing for anybody these days, farmers and hunters and that sort of stuff, to have some sort of device like that we can be activated. Also, awareness for if we're coming in somewhere, it's handy if people are aware of where we can actually land. Safety side for us, especially at night time as well, as we operate 24/7 here. So at night time we use night vision goggles, and it's a totally different environment trying to land somewhere when it's complete darkness. So just general, common sense, make sure the areas are safe from loose articles, stock, if stock's put away. So we'll do a flight over and see where it's safe, but particularly if they see wires that we possibly can't see, and if they can notify us or through ambulance control that where hazards are.
Hopefully most people won't get to see the cabin firsthand.
As you can see, this is our configuration at the moment for just doing a normal mission response. It's, they look big on the outside, but it's pretty confined once you're in the back here. So this is where you were, Scotty.
Yeah.
You remember that on the stretcher? Yeah. So we can sort of configure it for one stretcher patient, and if there is two, we can sort of redesign the helicopter and put another second stretcher along the side. But it makes it pretty hard to do patient care when we have two so close together. Mm-hmm. So gear-wise, we have a lot of our own extra stuff in here for patient care and survival stuff, winch bags and that sort of stuff when we do winch missions. Everything else you can see is all our monitoring gear and defibrillators, and up above is all our radios, so we can speak to everybody around the world if we need to.
On average, an hour-long mission costs $8,625.
Oh, without the fundraising, we don't exist. At the end of the day, it's a huge amount of money that the girls at the Air Rescue Trust have to get every year. Basically $8 million a year to keep us running. So every single cent counts. Even from $20 right up to whatever people can donate. It keeps this in the air, keeps our training up to standards, and everything like that's greatly appreciated by whatever people can give.
Make sure your family member comes home for Christmas this year. Please donate at airrescue.co.nz. Well, thanks for joining us today on Rural New Zealand. I certainly hope you enjoyed the show. Just remember, give us a like on Facebook, and if you're silly enough to miss an episode, you can watch it on demand. Well, that concludes Season 3 for 2016. A massive thank you for Carfields for being our principal sponsor. Make sure you stay safe over the Christmas break, and we'll see you back for 2017. A massive Merry Christmas from Rural New Zealand. Stay safe out there.